Well, when people go out on the streets and start burning things down, then you know there's something wrong with a society. In Dublin, on Thursday night, people were out on the streets burning things down. Well, I think you can assume that there's something rotten in the state of Ireland. I'm Grannyopteryx. I found this to be something of an irony. This is a publication from January 2023, and it's from a think tank called ODI. And this is one of its opening statements. Public attitudes to immigration in Ireland are among the most positive in Europe. If they are, we're all in trouble. Attitudes are underpinned by values that prize openness and welcome and are influenced by Ireland's own experience of large-scale emigration. OK, first of all, I don't know where ODI got its figures from, because Ireland has been acknowledged to be one of the most anti-Semitic parts of the Western world. So, well, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know where they're getting their story from. But the narrative is being continued through all the reports of this incident. And I'll start with the New York Times, which I have to read in reader mode because otherwise it demands I subscribe, and then I can't see the article. It snowballed. How a knife attack in Dublin led to a riot. So this is just a knife attack. Remember, a man grabbed a child and started having at her with a knife, and apparently a couple of other children, and the child's guardian, carer or mother or whoever it was also injured. And this is a knife attack. The violence in Ireland's capital on Thursday night was fueled by far-right agitators. So here we have the thing. It's just a knife attack, and the reaction is from far-right agitators who spread rumours online about an attack on 3 children earlier that day. It wasn't a rumour. It happened. Soon after, 3 children and a woman were wounded in a knife attack outside a Dublin school. Again, a knife attack. That's it. The knife, it just went for the kids. On Thursday, rumours about the perpetrator's nationality began to proliferate online. And they were rumours because the police were not telling anybody who done it. The Garda, the Irish police force, declined to comment on the background of the subject, who was taken into custody after being tackled to the ground by bystanders. The police said only that he's a man in his 50s, but unconfirmed reports that he was an Algerian migrant quickly began circulating in anti-immigration and far-right groups. We've got that straight away. Again, far-right, 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 again and again and again. And here we have an article in Sky News, Dublin riots, everything we know about the knife attack and police clashes. Well, it doesn't turn out there's very much that they're telling us. They say more than 400 police officers clashed with around 500 members of the public. That sounds like 1-to-1. That shouldn't be much of a clash, should it? After a stabbing near a primary school triggered violent rioting. The violent protest was triggered by a stabbing incident, again, outside a primary school, which has left a 5-year-old schoolgirl in critical condition and a female teacher in a very serious condition. The 3 young children, again down here, a woman in her 30s and a man in his 50s, were injured after the knife attack. It turns out the man in his 50s was somebody who had been knocked to the ground by a passerby. Now, the passerby, the BBC are in great haste to tell us, was a Brazilian immigrant to Ireland. And their take on it is that a Deliveroo driver stops knife attacker. A fast food courier who saw children being stabbed outside their school in Dublin has described how he helped to stop the attacker. 3 children and a school care assistant were injured. And so Caio Benicio, I'm sorry. I don't know. A fast food courier was riding past the scene and stopped to intervene. I didn't think about being brave. Instinct just kicked in, he told BBC News. No doubt about it. He's a very brave man, and a credit to his Brazilian background as well as to the island that has embraced him. And they are concentrating on that. But as for the attacker, not a word. They're not in such a hurry to identify him, are they? And there, I am an immigrant. Yeah. So this is the whole thing. The New York Times, Sky News, BBC, they are all singing the same song. Let's forget that the attacker was an immigrant. We found an immigrant who done good. So let's concentrate on him. It's starting to make me think that some of the conspiracy theories might have some validity. Look, Ireland has been very critical of Israel, and very critical of Israel and Israel's reaction to a lot more than a knife attack. And now they've discovered, or the government's discovered, that the people of Ireland are not so laid back about such things as they appear to be about what's going on in Israel. So it's given them a bit of a dilemma, I think. And I'm interrupting myself here to remind you to click like, to subscribe and to share. And if you're on YouTube, remember to click the notification bell. All the links to my other channels are in the description, including links to donation sites. I'm always grateful for donations, of course, but just clicking like is the best thing you can do for this video and my channel generally. And I'm reminding you that the Christmas 2023 competition is now open. The link to the video telling you all about it is also in the description. Okay. Well, I do hope that child makes it, and the lady who was injured as well. It's a terrible situation. But it's a real example of how governments in the West are losing control of the narrative that they're trying to push, even though the newspapers and the media generally do their best to back them up. Okay. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.